Evening all. It's been one of those shows. Everything was set, it was all good to go. And then magic. Guess what? It all went wrong. Don't ask me why. I literally walked upstairs and made a coffee. There you go. So I'm hoping everybody can hear me now. Well, everybody who wants to anyway. We're live. We're down in the studios. It's been a bit manic because we are actually beginning the refurb of the studios. They've been developing for a while, but now we've actually reached the stage where we've got to do something about some of the kit here, where we've got to do a bit of a refit and a refurb in here. So that's actually beginning as we speak. So we are on minimal kit. So a bit interesting. So thank you very much, Simon Run It, already saying loud and clear. As you can see, the riders already just starting to make the way out the pens over there on the first of the Nonnas Week rides, because of course this is the last week of Nonnas Month. Nonnas, one of our key supporters, and you can see the guys just up there. They're the people who make the whole show run, as well as keep the wheels turning for Russ. So a massive thank you to them and everybody who is a member of the DCG gang. You guys quite literally rock and roll us around the event. Now, let's show you where the riders are heading. They're out of the pens and making their way out and on the way through. So let's show you where we are heading. Russ is our yellow beacon here today. So Russ will be making sure that the riders head in the right direction, that they all go exactly where we want them to, and we know exactly where they are. So Russ hopefully keeping that pace controlled. It is RGV. It's one of our favourite routes. You all know how this works. It is 0.9k in to the start-finish line, which is the Marine Sprint Arch. We work our way around the flatlands, out across past Mont Saint-Michel, back into towards the Pavé Sprint. We go up the aqueduct, climb. We work through the Ballon Sprint, down through the gorge, and then back in through the finish. We do this twice for a total distance of 48.7k. We then have a 1.3k warm down. We have quite a lot of people on late join, so don't forget, thank goodness it's there. Not just for you, but for us as well. So the riders out. Russ is our yellow beacon. Our red beacon is Carl Johnson, one of our absolute regulars, a man who is a member of the DCG gang, and he's going to be in that draw for the giveaway if all of the tech works for Nonnas. Nonnas, of course, supporting everybody. Now, let's show you what the course translates to in terms of profile. You can see we are currently on our way around. We're about 3k in at the moment, which means we're heading on to the island at the moment on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. That's the cloverleaf almost shaped section between 3 and 4k. We then head around the coastline to 7k. We start to move inland. We go through the Pavé Sprint at 11k and into the climb. That is the climb from 12 to 13 kilometres. We drop back down the Ballon Sprint, coming in at kilometre 18. We then move our way in and round through into the gorge, and that is the big zigzag section that runs from kilometre 21 right the way down to the right hand turn, taking us into our start finish line. 2 laps of this is going to take us in and round. I'm glad everybody is going to be ready for this. Hopefully they're also going to be ready, and let's give this a little bit of a check. You never know. There we go. The number generator is running. We have our Nonnas giveaway, so that's always a good sign. And that is going to be 2 lots of giveaways for our riders in the DCG tonight, and that is for the members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, to say thank you very much for looking after us, committing to a month or right the way, in fact, through to the end of the season's donations. So the gang out and riding, the gang working their way in and around the top. And of course, don't forget that we have, of course, the giveaway that's coming from Nonnas, and that will be heading in your direction. If you're a member of the DCG gang, every member of the DCG gang getting a number allocated to them, and then we stop the random number generator at some point. We don't know where it'll stop. That number translates to the person. It's 1 rider, 1 prize. So we are going to give away 5 lots of £50 vouchers from Nonnas. Don't forget, of course, members get 20% as well off their bill when they go into Nonnas. So without further ado, let's head across to our riders. Let's dive in to the ride. Let's see how they're getting on as they make their way around. It looks like we're about kilometre 4 when we're going to join them here tonight on the Donny Chaingang. So the riders at the moment on the way through, we're just riding in with Carl Johnson. Carl is our red beacon, the mode that we're in. Unfortunately not allowing us a view of the red beacon over him, but he's there in red in the Bikes and Beers jersey, just patrolling the back of the group. A quick reminder, guys, remember the aim here is for our riders to stay around yellow. Our yellow beacon is Russ Downing. Russ in and on your screens at the moment. Somewhere tucked into the gang. We are going to get across to it. It's just a little bit tricky at the moment because we are operating on limited kit at the way through. We couldn't wait any longer because we've got a major championship going to be coming up, and unfortunately we couldn't wait to the end of the DCG to do the refit, so you're going to have to put with my heavy duty fingers and thumbs on the wrong keys at the wrong time. So Russ is your leader as always in the Downing Cycling coach kit. Don't forget, of course, you can follow Russ. It is at Russ Downing. Don't forget, of course, that Cycle at Cycle Expresso, at Bike Flex, and of course at Downing Cycling are of course all a part of Russ and Russ's portfolio of cycling brands that he's involved with. So please do make sure you jump on there. Also check out the rides, a Pinarello ambassador, and of course supported by people like Halo who support the gang, as well as OTE. And of course a massive thank you to everyone you can see across the base of your screens. They're the people who support the DCG gang. They are the people who keep the show quite literally on the road and the wheels rolling in Zwift. So at the moment, the gang looking very smooth, very compact on its way in and through. You're going to take a little bit of a flick through this group, but at the moment, everybody together as we just about make our way in. And there's two riders just about to join at the back of the group. Let's take a little run towards the back. Hopefully, we won't end up hitting our avatar, who is some way off the back. And it looks like it is going to be Ryan Williams who's on his way through. And Ryan putting in a good ride at the Sickle, the Junior Sickle Classic at the weekend. Absolutely flying his way around that. Great riding by Ryan. Well done, bud. Great to see. And Ryan's teammate taking the win on the Junior Sickle Classic. Great rides by lots of our regulars who come on the Chaingang and the Wows ECG in the Wednesday only, the women only Wednesdays, and of course it is our last women only Wednesdays this season, and that is going to be tomorrow, so make sure you give that a watch as well. So we're going to be giving away two lots of prizes tonight. Just we've got Shelley Charles on here, one of our key supporters. Shelley giving away, and we've just been seeing that the riders getting their new GP 5000s. Their Grand Prix 5000s are all season Grand Prix 5000s, along with water bottles as well, or bidons, depending on which vocabulary you're using. And gotta say a massive thank you to Shelley, part of that support that we give the riders who donate, and gotta say a big thank you to him and all the team at Continental for looking after the riders on the way through. Brilliant to see. Now the gang on its way around. This is the flat section really on the way around in towards the climb up. We'll see how they're going. Chris Ball is bad enough in the BCC car. Team car says Chris Ball. Ryan saying, yeah, top, but it was muddy, but a good ride. And two right, it was definitely a very muddy race. I have to say, I couldn't really tell the difference between the riders who had raced and ridden in the Sickle and those that had ridden on the National Mountain Bike round number 1. And I actually couldn't tell the difference between them and any of those riders who had been going bog snorkeling. I think they're pretty much the same thing. For anybody, and I know a number of people who did that did put in the request, did ask and wondered where we were. We weren't at either. We had gigs on the weekend. In fact, we didn't actually know that there was any kind of process for bidding for the mountain bike gigs. We may well have put a bid in, but apparently there is a tender process, but we couldn't find any details of that, so not able to even put a bid in for that. Don't know where that has ended up, and not involved in the Sickle, because it does have a major clash for us on the Sunday as well. We have actually got the resources to cover more than one event, but not to be this time round, which It's a shame because I really love the sickle, but I was thinking a really tough ride and potentially quite nice to be in the dry all weekend. At least as Russ says, we didn't have the flash flows that we had in 2012 for the event. Right. Now, Carl Johnson, patrol in the back here, our red beacon. Just we've got Alan Parsons on, Mr. Ridley himself. Alan in here. Alan, one of the DCG coached, the Downing cycling coach riders, my apologies. And Alan tucked in nicely at the back of the group, riding around, he thinks, with red tonight. Mountain Red Beacon just keeping a check on everybody. Neil Kerry down near the back of the group. Tom Lillian here. Greg Pillsworth as well. So it looks like at the moment everybody rolling along nicely. No problems for our riders as they make the way through. So at the moment looking good. Heading on the way down towards the turn inland. It's not going to be long before we hit that point. Ouch. Yep, Neil just putting on the message boards there. Lotta raced to the finish and then spent the evening in A&E. Lotta, I think, was inside the in the finishers and was one of the few. I think there were 44 finishers in total out of 103 starters. That is how tough that race is. Very tough stuff. So Ian Bale in here, looks like Mick Hawkins in, Mr. Rose, Mr. Moore, Chris Goddard in here, Finley Hudson, real who's who. And this is what we do find as we go in towards the end of the season, that we have the Keen and Committed. Remember, this is the last week of March, so it is the last week of the section into the last month, really. We have March, then we go into April, and April is the very last month of the DCG. The WOW DCG finishing this week. It is our finale. Got some real hitters jumping on. So it'll be very interesting to see how they get on that WOW DCG. Because we've got Liam Mazzoni in here. Liam with an absolutely stunning ride last week on the Donny Chaingang on the Thursday. Brilliant to see. Yeah, real who's so good. So we've got Neil from the Crosscast. And don't forget the last episode is there if you want to catch up with what happened at the end of the cross season. The same Neil from Gritty that you'll have seen at the National Mountain Bike Series, the crosses and so on. Neil, of course, from Gritty, along with Caroline Keane supporters, and are doing an amazing job. The sustainable sports apparel they produce is absolutely top notch. Got to say, the kit is brilliant. It lessens your impact on what we do. So just seeing the comments coming flying around it is due to end. If the DCG finishes next month, does that actually mean you have to go out the house on your bikes? No, it doesn't. You can always meet up. I hope you've all made loads of mates and friends, everybody that you know. You've bumped into, exchanged details. You're going to sort out going for rides. Get on the bike. You don't actually have to go out the house if it's grim, horrible, or you just need to do a controlled ride on Swift. It is a 12-minute. Mr. Mason, I need Mountain on the top, put on the way over the top. Mantis to walk on outside. Yeah, shakes his head. Thomas Owens in. Wow. So yes, punches and more punches, yes, outdoor stuff, you know, when you do get that bike will get out dirty outside. It will indeed, it will at the moment. It's absolutely terrible weather here. It's actually in between on the start of the rip out of the studio, headed across down the valley, down the Rother Valley, and have to say it was absolutely A, torrential rain, B, up to my ankles in mud. So, whilst we are on, we did actually say last show on the DCG, not on the WoW DCG, that our riders, some people knew exactly how many rides they've been on. And we have had a submission for the most rides on a Donny Chaingang, on the DCG. Now, you would think this would be Russ, but actually, I know that Russ has had quite a lot of weeks where Jimmy had to stand in the middle of the season. Now, that means that if you are have been around and been through all those, as well as all the Russ rides, then you will find that you may well be in front. And as you can tell by all the flicking about on your screen as I work my way around, I'm looking for a particular rider at the moment. Just the one. Doesn't need to be loads of riders. At the moment, everybody's absolutely going flying around backwards and forwards around the group, so not finding our rider. But one rider has already said they are already on a phenomenal numbers of DCG rides. So DCG, Donny Chaingang, or WoW DCG rides and a total for both. So basically, if you are just riding the DCG, which is not eligible for the Women Only Wednesdays, how many have you done? If you ride the WoW DCG and the DCG, how many have you done in terms of DCG, and how many WoW DCG, and what does that make your total? We want to know. I'd love to know by the end of the season, so before the last show. Really, really interested to see who has got the absolute total. Now, one rider has actually said exactly how many they've done. They're on the ride tonight, and that rider is Gareth Mason, the fat cyclist. So Mick Clark, Mick, I hate to break it to you, 155 tonight is not the most, because tonight is at least Gareth Mason's, you ready for this, 162nd ride. And we say at least because that is the ones that he's found already through Strava. There may well be some that he has that he's not clicked on the way through. So that's at least 162 today. Remember, we've still got a little way to go to the end. So we want to know what your total is when you come in. Has anybody done more than 162 rides? Because Gareth Mason has ridden on the DCG, on a Donny Chaingang, 162 times. Mick Clark, only 7 behind, but he does have lots of winter holidays, indeed. I'd be really interested to know how many Russ has done. Russ, if you're listening, which I know you will be, you know, in those like spare 0.1 milliseconds in your uber busy life, do you fancy counting them up for us and working it out? We could work it out probably from the shows, but there were some shows where there wasn't a show. Mr. Mason, wait until you find out that I'm Joe Blackburn. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Same kit, actually. That would be very, very interesting. We actually do know Joe, so that's an interesting change in performance. Or has anybody actually seen Gareth Mason and Joe Blackburn in the same room? I can't imagine. He set Garth the task of looking it up for me. Very good, Russ. Excellent. Mick Clark's never had a top 20 finish either. Okay, let's see how they get on. So, give us totals. Let's know how many you've done. If you've done 5, if you've done 55, you've done 155. Has anybody got close? We will see. She'll fit in your bucket, Joe. Yeah, Joe Blackburn absolutely on flying form last week. So, WoW DCG, what's going to happen this WoW DCG, the last one tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Don't forget, of course, we're going to be doing a couple of giveaways tonight of those £50 vouchers for £50 off at Nonnas, we're also going to do 1 tomorrow and 2 on Thursday. That's 5 in total for members of the DCG gang. If you are a member of the DCG gang, basically, we are going to be pulling you out the hat. We're going to pull the number out of the hat. It's not going to be all that long. Probably do it somewhere on the other side of the aqueduct, and we see that everybody's back together again. And the first one will actually be a 1 in 49. There are 49 people who have basically made the chain gang happen on the way through. So, guys, thank you very much. It's 1 in 49. Your chances of winning this, let's see if that is going to be the case as the riders come through. Looks like Shelley Charles just distanced off the back of the group, just onto the climb. Mr. Wallace just at the back of the group. Guys, you're going to need to push on any gaps at this stage. If you are at the back, you are going to find yourself in trouble because it's going to go downhill and the gaps will open. That's how it works on here. You'll go downhill and the gap will indeed open up, and then you'll find yourselves in trouble. So please, guys, make sure that you stay very, very close to the group. You can see that it strings out. You can see that top right hand side of your screen. You can see that long single line, and that's the same as you're getting on the chain gang. The back of the group squeezing its way back in, hopefully behind Rob Wimble. In front of Rob, hopefully the guys at the front just easing a little bit, just to give the guys that are back a bit of a chance. That pace as you go over the top always rolls through and pulls the pace up. So guys, make sure you just give it that little bit of time to get itself back together again. Looking like pretty much all together. I think Shelley just the only rider distance over the top of that climb there. I guess we got Shelley back on. Looks like Jim is actually some distance down as well. Jim Fern. Just going to take a look. Oh, Jim stopped at the side of the road. That's not good news. So let's dive in with another of our riders. We're going to go dive in with Tom Lindley. We're going to jump off our avatar and in with Tom, who's no doubt hovering around Russ somewhere right in the middle. So the group a little fractured, just starting to get back together again. So whilst the riders head round there, we are going to do something very, very good indeed. As part of the best bits of this job is to give away the sponsor support, and this is for the guys who are members of the DCG gang. If you're a member of the DCG gang, you basically, yes you have been making sure that the show happens, and we've got to say a massive, massive thank you for that, because without you all season long it won't to happen. To say thank you, we want to do some giveaways. That includes the ones from our key supporters. Nonnas, based in Exeter Road in Sheffield, have been long-term supporters right the way from the days of the last best part of 30 years. In fact, Nonnas have been looking after riders, so from Russ and Dean right the way across through to Ben and Connor Swift. You've got loads and loads of riders. They had the standard in real life, the rollout of the DCG gang to go and do in real life rides. Tracy and Vin leading the riders around through Sheffield there. The guys there are absolutely superb. They support everybody. We've been giving 20% discount to members of the DCG gang all month, but we're now going to give away a £50 voucher to one member of the DCG gang. And it is one rider, one price. Old school rules apply. Let's see who's going to get that. We're going to hit the button and it's going to randomly stop on a number, and that's going to translate to one of our riders. If you've got an A for Alison, you're number 1. If you're a W for Wayne, you're number 49, and everybody else in between. This time we're going to stop at number 38, and 38 is an S. In fact, it's somebody who has 2 S's because we give them 2 names on the chain gang. Great to see, but it is Simon, aka Sean, Run It, who is our winner on his way through. So Simon, you are our first winner on the chain gang. So well done, buddy. Simon Run It, winner of a £50 voucher to spend at Nonners. So well done, mate. We're going to dive back in with our riders once again, and let's take a look. So nicely done, and a big thank you to Stefano and to Maurizio. So fantastic stuff. £50 a £50 voucher for you on the way through. So well done, mate. Brilliant to see. Riders on the way in to the Ballon Sprint. So Simon catching up. Well done. I'm glad you made up, Simon. Easy. If only life was so easy to keep everybody pleased. And don't forget, of course, this is open to members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, and is very much the case that we are saying thank you to them, because all the way through it started because people were donating ad hoc, and we wanted to find a way to say thank you to everybody. And this is a way that we can do it. We give you the discounts, you get the discount codes, you get the route codes earlier, the links, the details where it starts, finishes, and all the routes. That is what we are looking for, is to get that out there. Simon, very worthy winner, not only a member of the DCG gang, but he is also one of our regular beacons on the gang. He's also one of our regular riders on the gang. He's a regular chat merchant on the chat there, and regularly goes back to help people out as well. So a massive, massive thank you to the guys at Nonners. And don't forget, we will be giving away one more tonight, one more voucher for £50. Don't forget, of course, if you are a member of the DCG gang, you don't win, you can still go. If you get in before the end of the month, email details on your members' email, but basically get in touch, email Stefano, and he will book you in, and of course look after you, as he does with all the riders, whether you're a member or not. He'll give you a warm welcome, but of course you get that extra discount if you're a member of the DCG gang. He has the membership list, you don't get the discount. So just watching Lindsay Clark rolling and through the Ballon Sprint. Bentley Hudson in there, Colin Beefy from Cycleways. Yes, you won't be disappointed. I have to say, every time we go, it is absolutely stunning. I had the pleasure of going there for many, many years, long before the DCG game. It is a regular haunt for us on our anniversary, amongst other things, and you know that they are going to get looked after when they go there. So always a pleasure to recommend it to our riders and to anybody who's in the Sheffield area. If you're coming up, you know, whether you're coming up because your kids are at university up here, because you're going out for a ride, dive in. There's great food, great hospitality, amazing wine, drink responsibly of course, and of course they also do takeaway in terms of they can send you out some ingredients. So don't forget, if you want the latest pasta, the latest kit, the best in terms of some real fantastic, authentic, straight from Italy produce, then please guys get in touch. Jump onto their website, it is dead easy. Just put Nonners Sheffield into any search engine and it will get you to the right place. So even if you are not at not in the area, you can pick up yourself some great produce and dive in there. Lots of our riders getting prizes over the course of the months. Remember, we kicked off with OTE. 1 in 4 members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, they got prizes on our first giveaway from OTE, the fueling up, all done courtesy of them. Those bottles and loads of kit. Don't forget, after that we went in from OTE in September into Halloween. Halo giving 20% discount and £250 worth of vouchers for Halo. Brilliant of them, and Halloween always good fun. We went from Halo across into awards Gritty, and Gritty of course the Sustainable Sports. Get 20% off Gritty kit all season long, all DCG season long. Brilliant on there. And don't forget of course that they have given away £250 worth of vouchers as well. That was in November. We went from them into 1080 and December and Christmas. 1080 taking that traditional Christmas slots. 3 amazing prizes, as well as the season round discount from 1080, which means that they are the cheapest place there. Gotta say, if I were you, get on their website, dive on there. We've got something just come in from them that we've been looking for a little while. Brilliant to have them in. And the support of In and 1080 In riding on the gang. Not out at the moment, but will be busy. So please, guys, remember, make sure you jump on there. 1080 gave away 3 pairs of anything Oakley that people wanted. 3 pairs of anything anyone wanted. So if you wanted the very latest in terms of Oakley Katos, or maybe you want some Holborns, or maybe you wanted some Sutro lines, whatever you wanted, and custom, so that you could get any lens, any frame, and of course you can also get them engraved as well. 3 of those went out to the members. Amazing prize going out there, and a big thank you. That's worth a lot of money. We then went into January. Veloskin, as well as the amazing discount that Veloskin give away, they also gave away the fantastic prize that is a year's supply. So again, a year's supply of chamois cream. And that was actually won by Jimmy Allen. And Jimmy getting a year's supply of Veloskin chamois cream. If you don't want to end up looking like the bear in all fairy, then make sure you use it. The shaving gel cream is amazing. The post-shave is even better still. And the moisturiser is brilliant, particularly in this weather, if you're going out and putting some miles on the bike. And of course, you know full well that, of course, that chamois cream is the business. So make sure you dive in and get hold of that. And then, of course, don't forget that after that, last month we had Continental in February. It was Continental February, and Shelley Charles giving away 5 pairs of the brand new Grand Prix 5000 all season, plus bidons as well, going out to the riders. That was in excess of £1,000 of kit going out to the members of the DCG gang. So a massive thank you to Shelley. We've also got Nons, of course, looking after riders non-stop, but also making sure that our riders are in here. So, guys, make sure that you jump on for April. One of our key supporters is going to be back. Have we seen Jimmy Allen since he won all of the chamois cream? Yes, we have, but I don't know whether he's eaten it or not, because he seems to be going a little bit slower than he used to. So maybe he's not sitting comfortably. Maybe he's just eating his weight in chamois cream instead, thinking it was some kind of gel. Right, heading in to the gorge at the moment. So let's see how the riders run. It's going to be interesting to see how they go. He's off to Flanders this week. Well, he'll be probably not just winning a year's worth of chamois cream, but going to drink a whole body's worth of beer on the way through as well. Now, the riders on the way down into the gorge. You can see that top right hand side of your screen, just riding in with Robert Wimble, another of our long time riders on the Chaingang. Chatboard really nice and busy tonight. I know who our final returning sponsor is going to be, 4 members of DCG gang, but I'm one of the few. So Tom Mazzoni having to take a little bit of a comfort break on the way through, just getting a little bit of distance up to get that in. A lot of north-south chat on the way through. Back in the convoy, making his way back up, good man. Yep, I'm with Russ. Riding over Strange, yes. Riding up Snake Pass, no. Why would you do it? It's just stupidly busy, even with restrictions. Crazy, crazy. Lots of nice, quiet roads around the big district. Okay, left, right, left turn coming up. Thomas only needed DCG race Why, Tom, would we need a DCG race? We have a DCG. So it looks like Miss Ridley just sitting at the back of the group. Liam's just chasing back on again. I think he's had another gap. So just watching Tom just sat at the back here, working his way on the sub-products of the Donny Chaingang. You see Ryan Williams in here, Ryan, one of our regular riders, and we'll take a little bit of credit for him somewhere on the way through. Moving the Turkey climbs down south. Yeah, don't believe it's flat down in the southwest. It's not. It's crazy. Someone running when he comes up will need to be show some new times. Okay, no, don't chuck in Jackson Bridge. There's a National Hill Climb champs and all other things. Great hill climb. Okay, riders go on the way down. Looks like we're heading in towards the end of lap number 1. So we are going to celebrate coming down on the way through. Ian Bell for views, it's got to be Abney. Yep, I'm going to go with you on that one. Now, let's give away one more set of kit from the Wonders of Nonnas. This is one more voucher coming out from Nonnas to one of the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang's supporters club. So you've heard me bang on about this, how it's going to work. It's really straightforward, dead easy. We're staying with Rich as we come in through the line. Let's hit the button. At the moment, the Rich hits the line. That's going to be my plan. I love a good game plan. So when Rich hits the line, I'm going to hit the button to stop it. That's going to stop this as he comes in and through the line. So the moment I see that you can go through the gantry on the screen, so I'm going to hit that stop button. And when that happens, now Mr. Oral hits the line. Now, there we go. Oh, it's number 32. Close to the end today. Number 32, Neil Kerry, is definitely on the ride today. Neil, you are our second winner of Nonnas. So it looks like both the winners tonight are on the gang. Congratulations to Neil Kerry. So Neil Kerry on the ride as well. Fantastic stuff, and congratulations to Neil and to Simon. You guys have won that. So they are in there now. I think managing to put Russ off a little bit there deliberately just to hold it past the line. 40.01 through the line, very good. So remember, we're on less than 1 lap to go. Remember that we have 2 winners today already. Russ has already got a plan for where he's going to go. Well, these days he might just select one, nice, wouldn't it? No, I don't want to know, because I'll tell you lot, that's how it works. Always. So Simon run it, and Neil Kerry, you've got £50 off. How many people you take is up to you, but there's a £50 voucher off. Don't forget, of course, if you go in, there are, of course, discounts for those at DCG gang, 20% at the moment. Neil Kerry on there, thanks very much. Yeah, very cool. So good to see you got Neil on the ride. In fact, here he is. So this is the man you want to be best mates with, Neil Kerry here. Neil is going to be heading that way, so well done, Neil. Congratulations, buddy. Enjoy. I am sure you'll have a most amazing meal. It is the best reception, and we'll be sending details out to our riders at the end of this week of how they can go forwards and claim those. So when we've got all 5 winners, then we'll be sending out the details to all 5 of our winners of how to go about to grab their prizes. Okay, so Rob Wimble, I think job done for Rob. Thanks for coming, Rob. We'll catch you later on. Hopefully you've spun your legs out enough on here. Looks like Tom Lindley still hovering around the back. It's really just the climbing ball, the two. Let's take a little bit of a look. Mr. Priest and tucked in Dr. D in here, Rowan Dubash. Yeah, Robert, don't wait, he's got to go. Oh. Get out of here. Now, just watching the chat earlier on, a little bit of chat about the in real life rise, and I know Tracy and Vin have already been hard at work, chasing routes and checking it out. Tracy, of course, determined 2.0. Be really interesting to see how many rides Tracy's got in what time period. So when did Tracy start riding on the Chaingang, and how many has she got in since then? Got to be really up there in terms of percentages of weeks and percentage per week. I tell you something, got to be right in there, Terminator. So do let us know how many you've ridden, if you can work it out. If you can't work it out, don't worry. Don't stress, it's for fun. That's the whole point. You're not going to win anything. So Robin Mason here as we head our way around the island. Beefy in as well. September 2021 is when Tracy Seeley first started riding on the Chaingang. So doesn't count as a newbie, but doesn't count as an order. So question is, then Tracy, can you remember off the top of the head how many of these you've done? Answer is probably no. You can see Eddie Dench in here, Craig Forrester in, Ryan Crawley back with us, no surprise, Secret Ryan took in nicely in here, Jim Flynn doing the same. So Royals just coming through on there. This gang are working well at the moment. The riders moving quite nicely. Looks like looking tucked in as well. Everybody's rolling along quite well today. It's nice to be had. Thank you very much for following the rules. There's plenty of time to put your foot down once the trigger is given by our yellow beacon. Our yellow beacon, of course, is the one and only Ross Dunn of Bikeface Donny Chaingang down inside lane and more fame. Sitting on the wheel here, I think, of another of the Danny Cycling Coach riders. I think that's Rich Orwell who's just also on there. So I think Russ is just explaining how a Wahoo fan works. It's connected to your heart rate. Thomas Only Lindley's the battle climber. I'm liking the fact that Mr. Mazzoni is saying that. They're both absolute class riders on the bikes. That is for sure. The slightly different characters, let's say. So just watch him, Russ. 46 minutes in, just keeping a little check on what's going on. This is going to put the fear of God into a few people, because we are now sat watching the man who pulls the trigger. At the moment though, not a lot happening. Not too many people being distanced at the moment, as our helicopters show. It is still reasonably compact together. So Rovati tucked in here, Taylor in here, John in as well, Chris Ball nice tucked in here, good to see Chris in. Chris, of course, I think Chris is our red beacon on Thursday, new route coming up on Thursday, most of BCG going all those attentive tonight, we'll know where we're going. So at the moment, everybody holding the wheels. Tomorrow we're in Crick City for the Bell Lap for the WoW DCG. Yellow Beacons are actually going to be Izzy Torrey, one of our regular riders. Rides for the Tactic Race Team. You may have heard us mention their jersey once or twice. You also will know that she rides for Aeonian as well. Don't forget, of course, our Yellow Beacons on the WoW DCG, all volunteers all helping out. And we've had some absolutely star riders on there. Brilliant to see everybody contributing. We've also, of course, got our riders volunteering for the Red Beacon. It's Miss Cookie, who else? It was our Red Beacon on our last Donny Women's Only Wednesday Donny Chaingang, WoW DCG. And that is on Wednesday. If you want to know anything else coming up, don't forget, of course, the Facebook pages of the Donny Chaingang is the place to go. So you can find all of the details. So, still all quiet on the western front as the riders start heading inland now. Looks like Colin deciding that he's done enough of a spin. Steadily ramping up though at the moment, and looks to me like pretty much everybody starting to feel the little wind up that's starting to come at the moment. It's steadily increasing in pace as we make our way. And the go has gone. The go has gone. We're going to drop in with Isaac Oliver, one rider that we know is likely to be right in the mix. And Russ has actually gone for a flyer when he called that as well. That's a really interesting move by Russ. Really ramping the pressure up. We're just coming alongside Mont Saint-Michel, and as we do, you can just see this group is going to fracture very, very quickly indeed. We're just taking a little bit of a look over the top of the riders at the moment, and as we're in with Lee, our helicopters are going up above. You can see this group is well and truly under pressure at the moment, as that big kick by Russ has pulled this group apart. So just rolling up to the front room with Hutch at the minute. We've got Mitchell, Varty, Main, Kerry in there. So Kerry right in the mix. Clearly wanting to get a move on, to get back in and get on with some food from Nona's by the look of it, as he pushes on up near the front. So Kerry, of course, our winner on the giveaway tonight. One of our winners, along with Simon Runnett. Riders continue to push their way in through, looking good at the moment on the DCG game. These riders really push them. You can see that Eddie Dalglish is back in here. Eddie, yeah, it looks like you had it all sorted anyway. That's Eddie and all the riders getting in touch through the week. Always great to hear from our riders. And don't forget, if you need some help, don't forget, hit the Facebook pages. If that doesn't work, you can always jump in and send us a message. Now 50 minutes into the ride, you can see the gaps have opened up. Looks like Karen Brooks from Fear now in the company of Lindsay Clark. Remember, if you do get distance, find a group, ride on in that group, get yourself into the finish. And that's the plan. That's the way to get yourself in and through. Just see Bailey at the moment in with Gidley D. Bash just up here as well. Looks like Richard Orrell being distanced out of the back. We're just riding in with Russ. You can see that there are groups now being distanced from this leading pack as they make their way in and through. So very, very busy on the Chaingang tonight. The riders working hard at the moment. It looks to me like they've got this pretty much dialed one way or another. Now let's have a look. Russ off the front as well. So Chris Ball's all done. He's going to go clean the bus ready for Thursday. Thanks very much, Chris. And thanks for being one of our key volunteers. Don't forget the call's gone out for volunteers for April, the very last one. If you've always fancied a go, never done it, put your name down, get your name in the hat, and make sure that Gail knows that you want to have a go. Well, settling down again on the gang. A few people starting to be distanced as we hit that go. It looks like this is going to be the second group on the road. It's a compact and bijou group, it has to be said. We've got David Campbell in here. We've got Rich Orrell in the group and Paul Mallin in here. So they are the trio who are group number 2. Immediately behind them and only 3 seconds down is Gidley, Bailey, Stevens, Crehan and Dubash. Then it's to be Bobby Mason, who's currently at the group, what's going to be group 5, I think, 4 or 5 on the way through. Carl Johnson doing a great job of keeping the bus together. There we go. So Carl just tucked in at the back. Remember, Carl's going to be working his way up and picking up riders on the way. So if you want a lift, don't forget, all aboard. Red bus in operation. Your conductor and driver today. Doing all in one. It is going to be Carl Johnson. Thomas don't squeeze on rear. Yeah, right. Good luck with that one. See Keith Richardson nicely tucked in this group with our regulars on the DCG gang. Working well, nicely in here as they continue to push onwards. Nick Clark in here. With our regulars, Kerry, James, Ryan, Allen. More in here. Hornsby's tucked in. Lindley just sat at the back trying to get as much draft as possible, no doubt, waiting to see if he's going to take the win on the run down. Yeah. One thing we are going to say, here's a quick heads up for you. This finish is one of the trickier ones for us to call on the way through. There are some really straightforward ones where it's easy to come back. There are also some courses that are really hard. This is really, really, really hard. And one of the reasons this is really hard is because we've got a little loop in it, and that loop makes things very difficult indeed for us to get back in and back to the riders. Now, we are aware that there is a rider going off the front. We are going to run up the road and then make our way to that one. You never know, because the riders who are pushing on at the moment are working well, but it looks to me like there is just one body just going up to the front. We will get there. It will. We will make our way up to the front. Guess who it is? He's on storming form. It is Ryan Williams. Give Ryan as much benefit of the doubt there whilst we were talking, just to give him a chance to get clear. You can see he's already coming in to the square. So Ryan Williams, solo leader at the moment. Clearly the Sickle Classic, Junior Sickle Classic, has done his legs some good behind. Hudson now starting to react. He is the solo rider behind. UPR by Ryan Williams. He's not going to have the fastest time through there though, and that is because Hudson was chasing out 24 seconds there for Hudson. He's trying to get across the gap here. And that will mean two of our youngsters, but two very talented youngsters up at the front of the ride. So they're well on the way in and through, looking good at the minute. And 8 seconds is the gap. Is anybody going to chase down the two youngsters? That'll be interesting to see. So the riders away looks like Williams with Hudson just behind, but run it at the moment up on the front, but this pack are rotating very, very quickly. We are making our way up towards the climb, just going past the lavender fields out on the right hand side of the riders. As we've worked our way past them and made our way in towards the climb. Expect to see another kick-off as we come into the climb. Just see Matt Winston is clearly back on form. Matt tucked in to this group at the moment, and Matt, of course, DS to the stars and a regular rider on the Donny Chaingang as well. Now Simon Booth, the rider who looks like he's on the move, just making his way up towards the front of this group. So Simon, a real beast of a rider, is on his way. He's just caught Finley. This classic sort of counter-attack over the top. He knows exactly where he is. He's going onto the wheels of Williams. He's gone across at 7 watts per kilo. Behind, though, the pressure is on. The question will be, can anybody get across? Are you going to use this now? Look at this. Booth is using that aero power to maximise his pace up here. He's put that out. He's going to get another power up at the top of the climb. And look behind now. Look at that screen. It is full of red numbers as riders go over that 8 watts per kilo marker. And that means that the riders are now really pushing on. This is about breaking this group. And if we take a look with a helicopter up above our riders, look at how much that has fractured. It's the same on our map view. If we zoom out, there are riders scattered all the way from the bridge summit all the way down. We're going to dive in. This is the leading pack, or what's left of it. Behind it is the debris from the explosion that happened, with Williams ripping it up, with Hudson ripping it up, and with Booth making his way across. A number of people have gone with him, though. And at the moment, you can just see a number of riders having an anvil to drop on the way down. It's going to have some effect, but it is going to be limited on the way through. There's not many options where you can put it on this course that it consistently works. So not the best of advantages. There's other courses, we all know them, that have a much more tactical advantage if you're given a anvil, but at the moment this is definitely not the case. Now the riders diving off and away. Remember, the next real key marker is the Ballon Sprint. That comes immediately before we head into the gorge. Drop down the gorge to the right hand turn, and we are on that run into the finish. So at the moment we approach the hour marker. We are at 38.8 kilometers of the journey on our way in towards the finish. And at the moment, looks to me like this leading group are going to be the riders who are going to be contesting the win. Behind, I think this will now be, it is indeed group number 2. Group number 3 are not all that far behind you now, though, and this could all come back together once again. So this group here at the moment, this is the group with Neil Mansfield in here. And it looks like it's got Mick Hawkins, it's got Hutch, it's got Richardson, Pearson. Who slugs is in here? Here's our Red Beacon last week. He's in group number 2, who is chasing hard here to get up to the leaders. You can see that yellow beacon is not that far away, and it's not that far behind that this huge pack of riders are chasing group 2. So this is now group number 3. So this has Tracy Seeley, the Terminator, and Co. So let's see how they go. This is going to be interesting. So these riders at the moment are on a charge. It looks to me like they are going to pick up group number 2, but look at group number 1. That is where Russ is at the front at the minute. This is incredibly close. With 1 hour covered, we are on our way in towards Chateau. We're going to take the right-hand turn at the side of the climb. This is going to be very, very interesting. This is where the riders have to push. This is where the front group will be looking to make ground. 4 seconds separating group 3 from group 2. 3 seconds separating group 1 to group number 2, who are behind Isaac Oliver. They disappeared from sight on this little turn section here. But if we take our camera up in the air, you're soon going to see them. And there they are coming out from that turn. This front group is also right on the limit. You can see the gap starting to open up. Russ winding it up on the front. And this really has done more damage. He didn't want to get caught back by that group. He's gone clear at the moment. Can he stay clear into the finish? Well, you must know this course like the back of his hand, like the roads around home, because it's a course we've regularly used on the Chaingang. You know, since the inception of France as a world, yes. We were going before France, before Yorkshire. We've been going for a long, long time on the Chaingang, one way or another. Now, the riders on the way in. This is your leading group. Behind this group, the gap's starting to open up now. Group number 2 is at 9 seconds. and group number 3 are a further 5 seconds behind at the moment. So the gaps continue to open up, and they're going to need to start working together in a big way if they want to close down any of those gaps from group 3 to 2, 2 to 1, or in any of the packs behind. But the real tough stuff is going to be across all categories, because remember, no matter where you are in this ride, it's going to be hard once that go is given and the speed limiter is off. So time to dig in, time to find a group and ride in. Don't lose the wheels. Lindley hovering around the back of this pack. He is in danger of doing that at the moment. That's something he can't afford to do. You lose the wheels on this front group, it will be a game over. So the riders on the way in towards the Ballon Sprint. You can just see if we take our drone cam up in the air. It won't be long before we hit the boards. Here we go. The gantry just round to the left of the riders, just coming into sight. So this, the Ballon Sprint reverse. I think the times through here are going to tumble from today. So looks like Simon Booth leading this group out as he comes through. He's got another aero. Gets that used up before he goes through. Now this is the last line. This is the last chance saloon. If people weren't happy with what they got, this is where they're going to have picked up something different. Have they picked up what they wanted on the run through there? Have they got a ghost? Is there an anvil? Now's the time to use it on the way through between here and the finish. Who's going to have what? If you picked up one, you're going to be in a good place. Has Gareth Mason, the ghost, a man who has done over 162 Donny Chaingangs at this point. He has set the bar high for how many Chaingangs riders have ridden. Well, it looks like Simon Oxenham is going to be pushing him, because he's gone off the front here. He's opened up a little bit of a gap, and Mason is the nearest rider to him. He's got a draft. Well, that is key, because he's clearly not got his most favourite of tools, that is the ghost, on the way through. So he goes across that gap. Interesting tactic, using it now rather than using it in the finale, in that run for the line. Must be feeling confident. Either that or he's in trouble at the moment. So riding in with Oxenham in this group of riders, it looks to me like we are going to have 15 riders in there. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be 17 by the looking Swiss. Going to double check. And as they come in, and you can see yo-yoing around. I make that 15 riders, but I'm prepared to be wrong there. Easier to check at the moment from there through. So 15 riders in that leading group at the moment. They are just making their way down. Very nice group, very fast back. They've got a gap. It's still only 12 seconds to the riders behind. But we are now on our way around the windmill. It's the old windmill down in the centre of the loop. This is your leading group, your leading pack. Behind it's now 18 seconds to the group of Pearson, Wilson, Moore, Bale, and Co. Coos looks in there. Paige Blunkett in there, looks like Richardson in that pack as well, but they have given up a reasonable amount of time now to these riders, and I can't imagine they're going to come back. They are in sight behind you, just see them in view, but I can't imagine that they're going to get them back no matter how much this group hesitate. They can see them in front, that yellow beacon in front of this. This is group 2. It is a substantial group. 2 and 3 have come together, and it means that they have got the advantage, I think, of numbers. So they are going to be riders probably about 20 strong. If there's 15 in the front group, this pack aren't going to be working well, but have they got the volume of riders? Let's take a little bit of a look back. So I reckon that there are in front 40 plus riders in total. 40 riders, 15 are in Group 1, 25 are in Group 2. Group 2, if they don't mess about, might have a chance of getting back Group 1, but it's a big ask given the quality of the riders in this front group. This is the group leading. Group number 1 with Russ down in the yellow beacon tucked in there. The Mazzoni brothers are in as well. Just seeing Ryan Crawley come up to the front. Greg Bucket now being more attentive. Got Mason, Dench, Osman, Varty, Oliver, Olsen, and Hornsby. Both Mazzoni's got Russ Downing in here. Ketteringham is in here as well. To see Mark Ketteringham back in on the gang again. Another of our really fast riders. Ryan Williams in here. Tom Lindley, Tom Hepton, Isaac Oliver. It's a real who's who of fast riders on the Donny Chaingang. Who's going to have the fast set of wheels? It's not long before we enter the gorge. At that point, well, that is when things get very interesting indeed, and it's when it's possible to start to break clear of the rest of the gang. So in they go. This is the upper sections. It starts to get more and more twisty, and it looks like Russ has saved a anvil for the downhill. Interesting point to choose there. Very interesting. Cagey behind. Booth is the man who's no, it's Rob Varty, in fact, who's gone after Russ at the moment. Interesting move there by Varty, and he's not persisting here. So Downing is continuing to eke out the gaps. Now Mazzoni goes. Leon Mazzoni, he knows the danger of letting Russ Downing go. He's coming across at 10 watts per kilo. I saw a 12 watt per kilo there from Leon just flick up onto the screens, and I think the response by Leon is going to provoke a response from the rest of the gang. They are on the way down, so at the moment it is Russ chasing Leon. They are the two that are clear. My goodness, you wouldn't want to let those two go down the road. If Russ gets onto Leon's wheel, the pair of those riders off in the front is going to be incredibly dangerous, and everybody can sense that now. You've got Crawley right up here, you've got Hepton, Varty up here, Hornsby, Booth, Kettering and Williams. You've got Mason. This really is now a concerted chase back of the two escapees in the shape of Leon Mazzoni and Russ Downing, but Russ has not made contact and has not held the wheels here, and it means that Leon is now soloing away. Can he hold the rest of the pack off? It'd be a great solo win by Leon. He's shown us that he lets his legs do the talking. He's the one of the two Mazzonis who they shadow in black. He's likely to go clear. He's the man who's silent on the boards and deadly as a ninja when it comes to the finish. He's gone clear. He's got a 5-second gap on Hornsby, 6 to Ketteringham, 8 seconds to Lindley, and I think the bird has flown. Anybody now trying to get across is really going to be up against it, because Mazzoni can now do a little bit of recovery before he comes into that finale. He's broken that group up. Now, this pack have to work together. We're just in with Tom Mazzoni in here from St. Piran, but the riders who are absolutely nailing this, they are in pursuit of these 3 riders. Leon Mazzoni is going to be Hornsby as well, so Ryan Hornsby and Mark Ketteringham are the riders there. Now Mason said he's going to bridge across. That is going to take a little bit of doing. Let's see if Mason has got the power to do that. We're in with Mason at the moment. He's the rider on that blue Tron, in front of the blue Tron bike. He's made the junction. He's made the junction. In fact, could go straight over the top here. And you can just see he eases up. They've caught back to Mazzoni. So this leading group are back together again. Oh, that is one match burn there by Mason. We know he hasn't got a ghost. We saw him put a draft in earlier on, unless he's got one stored somewhere in his back pocket. He take the right hand turn off the dirt, and now you're seeing another kick on here. This time it looks like Lindley is using what he can, and that is using the anvil on this run down to the coast road. It's at 2% behind. Ryan Williams has engaged his. Tom Mazzoni is on his way. Mason, though, is in touch, and they are going to unwind early here. You can't wait until you do the right-hand turn. You've got to start winding really early. Mason can see going over the top. Tom Mazzoni goes. Who's got that final kick? Williams is going to lead this out. Williams is at the front here, but is Williams going to be able to hold them off? Here they come. Tom Mazzoni is going over the top. And is it going to be Tom Mazzoni's day here? He's being chased down though. And will Williams make it? Tom Mazzoni kicks to the line. Tom Mazzoni takes it from the St. Piran team. It's Ryan Williams in 2, Lindley in 3. I think that was Booker in 4. But they come through almost with a blanket thrown over the top of that group. Oxenham in through the line. Oliver Mason. Next group coming in is going to be led by Osmond. What a finish there. Tom Mazzoni getting that timing right. He wasn't the first round the corner, but he was first in and over the line there. Great riding as he came in and through. Now, next rider in to the finish is going to be Russell Osmond. He's just ahead of A.D. Dench. Ian Bale's going to lead this out in the group behind. Is he going to be able to hold on here? He's got Pearson coming in, and Pearson's got a phenomenal kick. As they come in and through, you could just see all those riders coming through almost as one as they hit the line that time. Group number 2 in and through the finish. What a finish it was as well. Taking a little bit of a look back, Neil from Crosscasting, Gritty is through, John Gale. Now Forbes is through, and that is going to be Tracy. So Tracy's going to be our first female finisher. The Terminator is in and through. And it's a long way back. It's a long, long way back from the back of Tracy's wheel to the riders behind. I'm not surprised there are lots of people on there. There was only think the Welsh fella does good. Mason Gang, what a strong group. Tom did a great ride there, got to say. That was some finish. Now, we are going to take a run back. This is our next group coming in. They're on the way down, and it looks like Finley Hudson is on his way in here. This is really tough stuff. We've seen riders getting dropped on the descent down and in. Finley Hudson has gone for an early flyer here out of this next group coming in. He's got an aero he's saved as well. Nobody's going to pull back the flying Finn at the moment, but Finn is the rider. Finley Hudson is flying around this turn. He's already got that corner dialed. He's out of the saddle now. He's going to hold it to the line. He's sprung the way, and he has caught them napping. So it's going to be Hudson, then it's going to be Ambler, then it's going to be Pillsworth coming through, Clark Mantis, Toboggan and Co coming through pretty much all together. Matt Winston coming through with that good group there. Good ride by Matt Dixon. Moore on his way in through. Great riding by all of our riders on the way through. So Dixon Moore comes in over the line being chased here. Nearest rider is Taylor, then it's Allen and James, Campbell, Orrell, Malin, Goddard, Ladle, Seadown out, evening down. Lee, Freehan, Dubash, Stevens, Bailey, Gidley, Cannon, Mason, Roddy, Nick. A real big pack on the way through. Most of the riders have rolled actually even out and beyond the finish here, so we're going to try and work our way back up in time to get in to our next riders coming into the finish. It's going to be Taylor who's going to come through first. So Taylor on his way to the line here. Great riding by Taylor to make his way through the finish, so well done to Samuel Taylor. Good ride, buddy. Next up is going to be the fight between James and Allen, and I think Allen is going to roll this one through in underneath the gantry just ahead of James. Then it's going to be Paul Malin pushing on ahead of Rich Orrell. Then it's going to be David Campbell, followed by Dan Ladle. Chris Goddard making his way in to the line just ahead of Dave Lee. Dave's going to be our next finisher on the Donny Chaingang. He's going to come through just over about 1 hour 15 through the ride. Dr. D is in our next group. So a cracking group of riders here. Dr. D in the green. You've got Jason Stevens in here in the blue. You've got Trevor Crehan in on the grey on the front, and sandwiched in between the Chevrolet riders. That is going to be Andrew Bailey. So all of these riders we know are going to give it some beans in to the line. Who's got the kick on them today? Dr. D is definitely a rider coming back into form. You can see he's being chased here by Stevens. Stevens has put the kick in, and I think at the end of this, Stevens is going to have the pace. Stevens gets it. It's Dr. D immediately behind them, Trevor Cree, and then it's Bailey. Gidley's going to be the next of our riders. So Alex Gidley going to be the next rider to hit the line as they come in to the finish with a little bit of a gap back to Bobby Mason, it's Steve Cannon, along with Nick Rookin. So Bobby, the next rider, he's leading out this group. He's got some big sprinters behind him. He's got to watch out for him. Steve Cannon very fast. Rookin's got a good kick on him. Wallace definitely has as well. I think Karen Brooks from Fear is in this group. So Karen riding the DCG, a rider who's ridden the WOW DCG as well. So this group on the way down, Karen tucked in with this group. Who's going to have the kick to the line here? It's going to take some pushing in to the finish. We just started to see the wind-up coming. So Rodney is going to, I think, lead this out. He's gone early. Rookin's on his wheel. Wallace is coming behind him. Wallace has got the big numbers, but Sir Rodney is answering the challenge to his knighthood at the moment. Rodney takes it, so it's Sir Rodney from Gregor Wallace. Then it's going to be Flynn, Rookin, Cannon and Brooks. Great riding there by Karen Brooks to the 15. Great fitness. Love this too. Nice kit. We are fit. Very easy for everyone commentating. Looks like our next rider is Mason through. Then it's going to be the gang, which is going to be Priester and Johnson. So this is, in fact, our red beacon bus. So the bus is the only group left out on the road. Shows you how quick we are moving tonight. Wow. So let's keep our cameras in with our red beacon, and whilst we do that, we are going to just do a few bits of having a few thank yous. So a massive thank you if you've ridden tonight. Absolutely amazing. Great riding. What a great finish coming in. Attack after attack on the way through. Those groups were so tight, nobody could relax. We saw group 2 and 3 come back together again on the run into the finish. Brilliant to see, brilliant to watch. Please, guys, remember, get signed up and make sure that if you're going to join for April, you please do so the end of this month rather than the start of the next one. It just keeps things a lot easier from the admin point of view. Less sitting and typing emails and more hit the admin button and send it out as a block massive. It does make life a lot easier. Don't forget, of course, we've got giveaways coming up. Tomorrow is the last WOW DCG of this winter season. Running through, we're into spring. It is the last WOW DCG of the season. I'll say that again. Last WOW DCG of the season. Please, guys, make sure you watch it. If you are able, make sure you ride it. It's going to be the last one. I'm going to be joined down in the studios by Emma, who has knitted together the entire WOW DCG season. And I've got to say a massive thank you to her for all of the work. Planning and plotting the routes, liaising with all of the beacons, doing a lot of the commentary and making sure that everything is rolling. Don't forget, of course, we're back on Thursday with the DCG, open to all riders, whether you're male, female, whoever you are, whatever you are, however you identify, even if it's a can of spam. Please do join us on the Chaingang. We just have loads of riders. We don't give a monkeys what you want to identify as. All we want you to do is come and have fun. And that's what the Chaingang is all about. And I think tonight is well and truly proved that. So here we go. Riders on the way in to the finish. Our last sprint on the run in. So here we go. Let's see. Carl has got a big sprint on him. We might have to stay with our red beacon. But we know that Alan Parsons, Tom's your son, Alan Parsons is a very competitive soul, but he's currently being coached, so he might be under orders not to go too hard. Andrew Priester as well has got a kick, but I think our red beacon is going to resist the temptation here as they come in, and it's going to be Priester. Oh, a sneaky jump there by Andrew Priester as he came in and through the line. So, well done to our riders. We're just riding alongside our red beacon. A big thank you to Carl Johnson, who has been our red beacon tonight. If you want to have a go, the last opportunities are in April. We finish at the end of April for the summer break, and then we'll be back in September. So please, guys, jump on there. Don't forget, of course, make sure you give Russ a follow. It is at Russ Downing. You can follow him at Bike Espresso, at Bikeflex, and at Downing Cycling. You can follow Emma, who's in charge of the WOW DCG and will be with us tomorrow. That's at Biking Emma. You can follow me. It's at Matt Fixpain. And remember, of course, we are going to be very busy. We are going to be on the front of the coverage for the big prize championships that's coming out, the one with the $1 million prize fund. So that entry is open, so we are really looking forward to that. You can catch up with details of that and everything else we do outside of the Donny Chaingang, which is a lot of the work for the UCI as well, at there. at Full Speed events. Please, guys, make sure you do that. It'd be really, really, really good to have loads more followers on there. It does actually help us get the contract. I know it sounds daft. Who cares how many followers you've got? Well, people do. So please do put the follow on there, share it around, and jump on. Give us a follow. Give us a take. Give us a like. In the meantime, time to get you that OTE recovery done. We are going to head off. I'm going to get ready for the WoW DCG tomorrow. Rusty's going to no doubt be feeding the bear, and hopefully everybody else is going to have a great time watching the coverage of the WoW DCG tomorrow. So from me, Matt Payne, from everybody on the Chaingang, from the amazing gang who are over there looking after our riders, particularly Nonnas this time round, stay safe, enjoy your riding. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.